I remember when I first started my spiritual journey, and I knew what I believed, and I was on fire, and I was getting on people, hellfire, brimstone, and rebuking folks and so forth, because of course that's where I was. I thought to myself in that infant state, because that's what it was immaturity, was infant state. I thought that I would always be at that state, and thank God I wasn't.
Well, as you grow, you outgrow, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You move on. But the only way people can move on is if they let go of the past. Because as long as you're thinking feelingly about the past, you're recreating it in some form or fashion as you think you are, you do, you have, you be. But the idea is that you're here to direct what you are to be. In other words, you're in charge of your life. Your thinking feelingly is your path through life. So you're given to change your mind, change your world. And that's all you do. Do it faithfully, and you'll get the results. And once you start getting results, then you'll either be out sharing it with people, but you'll be enjoying life at the same time, too. And it is joy. If you really, really feel it, it's joy. And you can do so. Why would God tell you to do so if you can't do so? And he would know if you can do so. So just do so, right?
Absolutely. And it goes back how simple it is. You said if you can let go of the past, and I know a lot of school of thought say that you got to go back and process the past. But as Mr. Lindell stated a moment ago, if you're sitting there processing the past, you're still there. Many of us don't understand. We wonder why we keep reproducing like events. Like always produces after its kind. So if your focus is on a past hurt, for example, and you just stay there, the only thing you're going to do is create more past hurt.
That's it. That's it. And God says, I suffer with you, but you behold me not. So and he says, I give you freedom. No longer do I call you slave, I call you friend. And no greater love has a man than that he give his life for a friend. oh boy, there's volumes there.
It is. And as you're saying that, you spoke about freedom. For those who get what it is that we're talking about, it's liberation, it's freedom. And you stated about giving one's life for a friend. And giving that life, it's not necessarily talking about sacrificing yourself, but more so giving your friend lovely and good report by way of your thinking.
Yeah, well, just give them what you got. If you got it, give it to them. Let them know, hey, did you know that you can do this and you can do that and you can change your world of experiencing? See, why wouldn't you tell them? I mean, I think you might burst if you don't, would you say?
I would say. Now, and I understand because somebody told her friend recently, she had posted in the Facebook group, and her friend, and I understand, thought that she was delusional, and the people that she dealt with was delusional. I understand. If I was hearing this for the first time and I did not understand that my thought creates things, quantum mechanics tells you the same thing. But if I didn't understand, I would say that you were either insane or delusional.
Yeah, well, actually, we all are still delusional to a great extent. Even the awakened.
Absolutely.
I mean, you see, the thing of it is, what you discover is that there's no end to it. It expands and expands forever. There's no point of it's over. It's ongoing, and you're ongoing. But the thing of it is that there's nothing transforming in death. In other words, what you take with you is generally your attitudes about life in general. So you're still responsible for changing your mind to change your world. No matter how many time sets, life sets, whatever you want to call them, whatever it is, you're the ones responsible to change your mind to change your world. And you will do so. But why wait? I mean, what are you waiting for? I waited and waited. I don't know what I was waiting for either. And I even now looking back in retrospect, I see where I had the opportunities to change my life completely. But I missed it because I was focused on something negative, probably, more than likely. But the point is that you are in charge if you will take charge. And that's it. You want to be heard? Be heard. You have a valid say. It's as valid as anyone else in this world. And the only ones you hear are the ones who got the guts enough to stand up and say it. Isn't that it?
It is it. You ask the question, what are you waiting for? And it goes back to a song that I heard years ago, and his song was called Waiting on the World to Change. Many people are waiting on the world to change, but the world won't change until you change.
That's it. And then it'll only change to whatever you're thinking about then.
Absolutely.
And is that a change, or is that a... we're told not to judge by appearances. And that's everything on the commercials on TV is being worried about how you're presenting yourself to the world. And it's not about makeup. It's about attitudes. That's what's really you. And that's what you will be sending out, your attitudes. And whatever they are, that's what you'll be experiencing. Isn't that so?
It is so. That judging according to appearance, I mean, you can look at it at the surface level, but it goes so much deeper. Sometimes the appearance says that I ache, so we say, well, I can't do anything because my back aches, or that money seems to be short. Okay, well, money's short. I don't know how the next bill is going to be paid. And we begin building a case for our lack, loss, and limitation.
That's absolutely right. And it's exactly the way it works. And I caught myself doing exactly that and suffering the consequences and still not figuring it out. Because the thing of it is that you really don't figure it out. It's revelation. But you will have the revelations. If you turn to God, God turns to you. So you will have the revelations. But you have to be still to absorb what you get. And you'll get it. But you do have to be still. Go into silence. Sit in the silence. That's all you have to do. Really, change your mind. Change your world. You're always changing your world moment by moment as you change your mind. How many times a day do you change your mind? You're going to go to the store to get something there and they don't have it, so you're thinking about, well, let's see, where else can I? Oh, yeah, I know. I'll go there and get it there, and you go there and get it there and find it and pay for it. And then you say, well, that's just what we do every day. Right. And every day you have an opportunity to change your mind and change your world. Do you do so? That's a question you have to ask yourself, isn't it?
It is. And how simple it is. I have to keep going back to that. The story that you gave about going to the store, everybody does it every day. Only thing that we're asking you guys to do is to be more aware of what it is that you're changing your mind from to.
Yes, and they even tell you that you're out in the public. Be aware of your circumstances. Be aware of what's going on around you. Awareness. See, that's because that's your protection. You being aware, that is your primary protection. But this life that you're living needs the protection of you being aware, doesn't it?
It does. And I want to say this to those who are new to this. When you first start catching yourself, you're going to get giddy because you've been told that you can't do it, that you don't have the tools, you can't focus. And when you start catching yourself thinking a thought that you don't want to think and changing it, it's going to make you laugh because you're going to see in that the simplicity of it.
That's it. And you're also going to see your involvement, that you actually are involved in doing what you're experiencing. Every word. That really, really bothered me a lot when I first heard that. Every word that you say, speak, feel, is your world of experiencing. Now, you know what you're saying to yourself. Is it lovely and of good report? Then that's what you'll be experiencing. But if it's a get even with them dirty buggers and all that, well, then that's what you'll be experiencing. It'll come to you from without, but you sent for it within. Isn't that right?
It is. And you talked about the word earlier, attitude. And I know for many of you that, again, maybe hearing this for the first time, it's a hard pill to swallow that I've created my current circumstances and situation. But if you can grasp it, you can transform your world.
Yeah, that's what you're given to do. Why not do it? And I'm not going to say try it. I'm going to say do it. Because you see, I use that try as an excuse for everything. Oh, well, I tried, but it didn't. The Bible doesn't say try. It says do a thing. Do it. That's all you have to do is do a thing, and then you'll have the thing. But what thing are you doing? I don't know. What are you doing? Is it what you want more of? Fantastic. If it's something you don't want to experience, then just drop it and turn to God. He's all there is. He is you. You is He. He is talking to you from within. Attitude, awareness, and imaginational control. With these two, you can claim a new life. And you're given the new life if you'll claim it. And you claim it by being in it, thinking from it, in mind, in imagination, in the theater of mind. Do it there. That's where you do your work. And whatever you're doing there, it is your work. And it will be produced in your world of experiencing. So if it's not lovely and of good report, well, there's your answer right there. Isn't that so?
It is so. And for those who may not be comfortable with the term God, whatever, think about God as the good one desires. What good do you want to manifest in your life? And that's the God, because whatever you're giving your attention to, that's what's going to be drawn, good, bad, or indifferent. But why not focus on the good one desires?
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? Just ask yourself, sit down and ask yourself, why not? Why am I thinking something that I don't want to experience, something that I don't even like to think about, but I'm thinking about it? When you can actually flip it over and think about things that are lovely and of good report. It's always up to you. Your inheritance is waiting for you, but you have to claim it. If someone left you an inheritance, you'd have to go claim it, wouldn't you? This is your inheritance, isn't it? Claim it. And that's what you're told to do. Speak up. Be heard. Let yourself hear yourself claiming, I am that. Because that's the only thing that's going on in this whole world of experiencing is I am that. What? Well, whatever you're experiencing. And you're given to choose. So if you don't like it, choose differently. And you're on all the time. So you can do it anytime you're ready to do it, right?
Absolutely. And for the skeptics out there that say that this is a bunch of crock, remove all the religion, take all the stuff, the God stuff away from it, test the principles. Think about what it is that you want, a desire, whatever, and begin giving your attention, becoming, as Mr. Lindell will often say, move in and think from, become the person that has what it is that you desire and see if it will not manifest in your life. But also look at it from this perspective. Look at what's in your life right now and ask yourself, how do I keep reproducing the same type of events? What's the common denominator?
Consciousness. That's the common denominator. Consciousness is always being objectified. Consciousness is God. So if you don't want to like the word God, consciousness is always being objectified. Objectified means it's taking up space in your world. You're actually dressing your world, and you're told to dress your world, and you're dressing your world, but as you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. That's how you're dressing your world. And you are about doing so. What kind of job are you doing? What kind of rate would you give yourself for what you're living right now? And that'll set you off to thinking about it, and that's good enough for a beginning, but the idea is to think from it. Because thinking from it says, I am that. Thinking of it is saying, I don't have it. And most people go and kneel down to pray to God, and they're saying what they don't have. Okay, that's it. But if you go thanking God, thank you, I have received, that's it. But you have to believe it. And that's what you should be working on. What do I believe? And it's there because you believe a lot of things. If you start thinking about it, you'll find out you believe an awful lot of things about a lot of things. But this is what is important. As you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. So why not think lovely in the good report and then you be that? Isn't it that simple?
It is that simple. You talked about for a moment gratitude. And when you start giving gratitude at first, because it may be uncomfortable for you, or you just never thought to give gratitude, thanking God or what's going on around you and so forth, what's going to happen is the thing that you're thankful for, you're going to reproduce more of that in your life because now you're going to be aware of that. And that's what you're going to be giving your attention to.
That's it. That's it. What has your attention has your life. So right there, you're given the opportunity to choose. So if you're not enjoying it, what have you been choosing wrong? It's all there is to it. You just have to keep it simple. And I love that KISS, keep it simple, stupid. that really hit me right where I live because, like I said, I get a good idea and I examine it into dust. But open and quicken what you think about right now that you agree with. Open that and quicken it because open it and thinking from it actually draws to it more ideas to build and expand on that particular idea. And that's what you want to do. What you're thinking upon expands to the time that you give it. And if it's just a minute, well, it lived for a minute. And that's the way it works. It'll live as long as you give it life, your attention. And why not think upon the lovely and of good report when it's offered and you're actually told to think only on things that are lovely and of good report, because if you do that, that is a positive right down the line. And that's what you'll be experiencing. That will be your everydayness. You can change your mind and change your world. Isn't that so?
Yes, it is. And matter of fact, you're doing so.
Yep, that's right. Are you enjoying the change?
Absolutely.
See, that's the thing of it is, you got to question yourself. You don't need to question people out in the world. Just question yourself. What am I thinking? Since as I think, I am, I do, I have, I be. Isn't that important then to think, to see what you're thinking about? Isn't it?
It is.
See, I just don't understand. If you don't think that what you're thinking feelingly about means anything, well, you're mistaken. It means everything. It is your life of everyday experiencing. And you can change your mind and change your world. And that's all we're asking you to feel after, better than the best. I mean, you can feel after better than what you're experiencing, can you not? Then do so and see what happens. It's always up to you. You have to actually experience first person, and you're given to do so. But you have to turn to do it, not think about it, not know about it, but do it. Do a thing, and you shall have the power. The power, not a little power. The power. Isn't that what it says?
That's exactly what it says. And the wonderful thing is, it's no matter what thing you do, good, bad, or indifferent, you do that thing, you're going to have the power to do that thing. You know, and you were talking about just being mindful of your thoughts. And I don't know if people truly understand what's being given to them. But like I said earlier, we're giving them the tools for life change, because once they become aware, conscious, as you stated earlier, then life change can begin. Now, it's already happening, but what we're trying to do, and again, what you'll notice with all of our talks, we don't tell you what to think, but that you think.
Yes. Yes. You're experiencing what you are thinking. And that's all we're telling you, is that you're experiencing what you're thinking. Thinking what? Feeling what? I am that what? If you can answer those questions in the positive, then you're happy. If you can't, then get happy. Start now, right now. Feel after him, you doing, being, having, and do so. I know we repeat it. Oh, that's what this is. This is a repeat, and a repeat. Reiteration, that you finally get it. It's no different than when you were a kid in school and learning your ABCs and the times tables, and well, how did you learn them? Over and over and over. You repeated them until they kind of soaked in. Well, that's exactly what we're doing. We're giving you the information, and you're to listen often so that it'll soak in. Isn't that it?
It is, you know, and it goes back to, like we said, the title. And we really want you to get change, how simple it is, because if you get how simple it is and you realize the role you play in your own personal development, the sky becomes the limit for you.
That's right. And then what will you want to do? You want to tell it to everybody. And believe me, I know the change that will be made in you when you do, because this would have been the last thing I ever thought of that I'd be doing. And here I am totally doing it. Do a thing and you shall have the power. I'm telling you, you have the power. Use it wisely, because you are using it, aren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The wonderful thing is, if you have the desire to do whatever thing, that means the ability within you is there.
That's right. That's what you're trying to awaken in yourself, and you can do so because you're told you can do so. So if you're not doing so, then you're the one who's denying you happiness. Isn't that so?
It is, you know, and you said earlier about happiness, you said you do it on the positive, you're happy. But if you do it on the negative, then you're not happy. And it is so simple, but so true. When we're doing what it is that brings us enjoyment, we're happy.
As you think you are. That's it. If you just remember that one phrase, as you think you are, you do, you have, you be. What are you thinking? That's the question you ask yourself. Many, 70 times 7. You just keep asking yourself, what am I thinking about? Is it lovely and of good report? And if it isn't, well, why am I thinking about it? See, I correct myself daily, because it's very easy to become frustrated, about most anything. And it only builds upon itself as you give it energy. And the energy you're giving it is your life, because that's what you'll be experiencing. Every day, you're experiencing consciousness of being what? That's it. That's the story. Conscious of being what? You're given to choose it, right?
Absolutely. And I want to say we had a brief conversation before getting on the call, and Mr. Lindell says, sometimes I will challenge myself out loud. And let me go and explain. We were talking about being mindful of our thoughts. And he says, sometimes a thought will come to mind. He's like, where did that come from? The reason why you do that and you do that interrupt pattern is that you become more aware. And the second you become more aware, you're going to cease thinking about that thing because now ego's been called out. And because ego has been called out and he's been revealed, it opens up the pathway to change.
Well, as I've understood, that's what everybody is looking for. Change. Change is something. And it doesn't matter what it is because nothing's too hard for God. And you're told that all things are possible to those who believe. So if you're going to think that you're working on something, why not work on what do I believe? See, that would be priority, I would say, wouldn't you?
I would, and often I'll catch myself and I'll laugh. I say, okay, I got you. But the question is, you have to know what it is that you believe. So sometimes it's discovering that. But I want to add this too about knowing what you believe, why you believe it. Because see, Mr. Lindell said it earlier, and it's so true. A lot of us are thinking other people's thoughts about us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, Mr. DeCarlo, it's all on automatic. You have no one to blame for where you are, what you're doing, but yourself. Because your world is as you think you are. And that's the whole story. And it was meant to be that simple. But you see, the theology, that's the churches. They want to tell you all about the little windows of theology. But that's not your interest at the moment. You're looking for today's income and today's good times. Is that what you're happening? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're being? Then if it's not, then it's not what you're thinking about. Isn't that it?
It is it. And that's absolutely it. Because a lot of times we get stuck on theology and all these religious sayings and things, upbringing, teachings, and so forth. And most people are looking at, how do I pay my bills? How do I improve my relationship? How do I get in better health? And we're giving you the key as you think you are.
That's right. If you believe God's promises, you'd be claiming, I am healed. Whether you have any evidence of the senses or not, you'd be claiming, I am healed. And if you'll do so consistently, persistently, you will be healed because that was the message. And that's what we're bringing you is that message, the message that you're in control, even if you're out of control, get in control and change your mind, change your world. Is that it?
That's it. So as we're closing down how simple it is, any closing remarks?
Yeah, just keep it simple, stupid.
I think the first time I heard that was in the military. That's probably the same thing with you. And it's one of those phrases that you never forget.
Yes. And hopefully you don't.
Absolutely.
Because if you can't keep it simple, you're told you shall become as little children. And little children are very simple. They take everything literally. And if you do that, you'd be on course, wouldn't you?
I do absolutely agree. And I think that we've overcomplicated the principles. What we've tried to do in this talk is simplify it so that even a child can understand it. We hope that we've done that.
Oh, I know we've done that because I understood it.
Me too. Well, sir, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
People just want to know what you did to be successful.
The 4 CDs that I have out there, it's all there. If you took any one of the CDs and actually followed through on what you understood there, you could change your mind, change your world. All you have to do is just listen to the CDs. It's always reiteration and reiteration.
I want to go back to the 4 CD set. Go to metaphysicalarttheater.com. We can only mail in the U.S. right now, but for those who are outside the U.S., we can send you a digital bundle with everything, so you'll get the enjoyment without waiting for it in the mail. Matter of fact, those who are in the U.S., if you would rather have the digital copies, we can do that as well. metaphysicalarttheater.com.